Hello, everyone. My name is Ruth Chang, and I'm currently serving as a missionary in Romania. I live in Bucharest, and I serve about a 6-hour radius of the surrounding countryside of the city. Here is where I live. It's called Communist Block. All of the apartment buildings look the same, so it is very difficult for mail to find me. I am actually up on the 7th floor, so I'm above the tree line, as you can see there. Because I live right within the city, I get the excitement of police and ambulance and any accidents that happen outside of my windows. One of the areas that I serve is my neighbor. She's 91 years old. Tanti Jenny is, as affectionately known. She's an Orthodox Christian, and one of their traditions at Easter time is that the candle from the altar is passed out through all the neighborhoods, surrounding neighborhoods. And she received the candlelight and passed it on to me. So I was very honored to be a part of that tradition. After the midnight mass at Easter time, so around 1:30 or 2 in the morning, the neighborhoods actually opened up all their windows and shouted out, "Christ is risen, he is risen indeed." So it was really exciting to be able to hear that. Also, right within 1 block of where I live, as you can see, there's a lot of traffic, whether it's day or night, and there's no parking available really in the city. So the vehicles are parked up onto the sidewalks. There's a certain way that you have to park on the sidewalks that you get to learn, or else bad things happen to your car. One of the rules that I learned is that you have to have two wheels up onto the sidewalk, and that would either be your two front wheels or your two side wheels. Um, and as I said, parking is at a premium. There's a lot of construction in the city. This shows another neighborhood where I ministered to a mothers and babies shelter pre-COVID. Since COVID, they've been on lockdown, so I haven't been able to return in the last 6 months. I like the picture on the left because of the English words that say good people drink good beer. I guess that is just a global thing. On the right is one of the Orthodox churches that is fortunate enough to have funding to be able to preserve its domes. Not all areas in Romania have the money stream, I guess, to be able to keep up maintenance on buildings. As you can see, this very old building is falling apart right on the sidewalk. There's also a lot of graffiti throughout the city, and the graffiti knows no bounds. I've seen actual churches, like the white walls of the churches, also have been vandalized. This is the Lutheran Cathedral. It's about an hour's walk from my apartment. Very beautiful building inside and out. I found it interesting that the pastor preaches from an elevated pulpit. I was not able to meet him in person. He actually doesn't greet anybody on the way in or on the way out, so it's a very different tradition than what we're used to in the United States. One thing that I had to get used to is the different signs for traffic and what they mean. The one on the left actually means that the high-speed highway is coming to an end, which comes to a grinding halt actually because of the city traffic. And the one on the right, I just found it humorous that to be able to stop, you have to stand on your head. Another area where I service is the Christmas program, where there are several churches in Alabama who send clothing and school supplies to a local school. The school holds the items for us in their basement, which is bomb shelter. And as you can see, it gets wet and damp in there, so I get concerned about the cleanliness of the items. I mean, they are wrapped, but I still get concerned about that. When it comes time to actually prepare each individualized package for the orphanages and the nursing homes and the hospitals that we visit, we hire and also have volunteers that have to carry these boxes 4 flights of stairs up to another staging area where we separate and package before they are sent out to all the areas. The orphanages and such, they actually send us a list of how many girls and boys and what their ages are, so we can pack accordingly. Here is one of the local churches that we service pre-COVID. There's about 25 families that we service, and here they're opening their Christmas packages, and the kids usually put on a nice Christmas program for us that includes singing and some recital of poetry and things like that. We do visit at least 2 hospitals. One that sticks in my head is an infectious disease hospital for adults. Most of them are terminal from AIDS or hepatitis. We also visit a hospital for terminally ill children. So we have to garb up in order to meet with them. And being in the field is not without its treachery. I've been bit up by mosquitoes, by fleas, by lice, so it's not easy, and it's not easy getting the right kind of medication that you would need, because everything is locked up in a pharmacy. You can't just buy it over the counter in a grocery store like you can in the United States. Romania is a very beautiful country. It is surrounded by the Carpathian Mountains. So here we're traveling through Transylvania. It's very, very, very scenic, winding roads, winding rivers, just beautiful, beautiful everywhere. Here's a church that we serve in the countryside. It's about an hour and a half away from Bucharest. During COVID, we were fortunate enough to have a yard that we could set up chairs and have service outside. As you can see, a chicken had joined us in this particular day. When we were inside pre-COVID, it's a very traditional setting where married and widowed women would be attending service with their heads covered, all of them sitting on the left-hand side, and then all of the men sitting on the right-hand side. And here I am giving some kind of presentation during that particular service. And then finally, in Pitești, which is about hour and a half to 2 hours away from Bucharest, in the countryside where the sex trafficking shelter is, they house up to 12 girls. Right now there are 6 underneath their care. It's a very rural community. It's actually called a commune in this particular area. It's gated. It's about a quarter to a half mile long driveway that is downhill and on gravel. The villagers kind of know what's going on up there, although some of them refer to the institution as the whores on the hill. So it's a very sad situation. The girls definitely are not accepted in school. Right now everything's online, so it is a little bit easier for them in that way, that they can remain a little bit more anonymous. It's very common for them to have police come to search, to bring back a runaway, or to investigate a runaway, or to investigate some kind of disturbance if one of the bad guys tried to come back and apprehend, or reapprehend, I should say, one of the girls. So one of the things that I wanted to conclude with is, no matter whether we're in the United States or I'm in Bucharest or I'm out in the field, the sun rises and sunsets in the most beautiful way in God's glory. And one of the things to remember, that to use your talents, to think about what is it that you want to do next. What is it that you're going to prepare for this winter for the holiday season? And what is it that makes my mission work so important is just to be able to show love. It's not a matter of spreading Lutheranism, for example. It's a matter of showing people God's love in a Christian way that they never realized that existed before. Thanks for your time.